Welcome to our podcast channel. Today, we will be discussing the topic, how to stay calm and positive in life. We're going to be tackle something I think everyone feels these days, that sense of chaos. Fast pace, always feeling behind, just drained.
Absolutely. It's relentless.
Right. So our mission in this deep dive isn't just another checklist. We want to dig into some, well, ancient wisdom, specifically Buddhist ideas, looking for a real blueprint for inner peace in this, frankly, hard world.
And what's so fascinating right from the start is this core idea. Your mind is the master. It's not just watching reality, it's actively shaping it.
Okay, shaping it. How so?
Well, it means if you're looking for calm, for positivity, chasing external things won't cut it long term. You have to start inside with what these teachings call right thinking, which is, much deeper than just trying to be optimistic.
So not just think happy thoughts. It sounds like a whole approach, like building something.
Exactly. It's like designing your life intentionally. We're talking about shifting how you see things, making sure your body supports your mind, and setting goals that actually work for you, balanced ones.
A holistic thing, then. Mind, body, intentions.
Precisely. And it really starts with the mind itself, where the noise often begins.
Which brings us right to awareness. I love the analogy of the mind is a garden, you plant positivity, you get joy. But practically, what does that mean day to day? Is mindfulness just paying attention?
It's a bit more focused than that, actually. Think of mindfulness as actively managing where your attention goes. You know how our minds tend to drift? Worrying about the future, replaying the past.
Definitely. The default mode, right?
Exactly. The default mode network.
Yeah.
It loves to ruminate. Mindfulness is like a superpower because it lets you consciously pull your attention back to right now. It overrides that drift towards negativity.
Okay. So when you talk about savoring food or watching a sunset, it's not just nice, it's deliberate mental work.
It is work. Choosing focus. That's the difference between rushing through life and actually, living it.
Okay, that makes sense. So once you have that present moment awareness, where does gratitude fit in? You hear about it all the time.
Right, and it's powerful. Think of it as a cognitive tool, an antidote. Our brains are sort of wired for negativity. Yeah, psychologists sometimes say they're like Velcro for bad experiences and Teflon for good ones.
I've heard that. It feels true sometimes.
It does. So gratitude is like the conscious effort to make the good stuff stick. To notice it, appreciate it.
I like thinking about the mechanism behind it. It means it's something you have to practice, like a muscle.
Definitely.
Daily.
But what about when things are genuinely awful? How do you feel grateful when you're, really struggling?
That's the crucial part. Gratitude isn't about pretending the bad stuff isn't happening. It's about finding something, even small, to appreciate amidst the difficulty. Maybe it's just the strength to cope, or someone's support, or even just a warm cup of tea.
Finding the small anchors. Exactly. And a simple technique like keeping a gratitude journal, just jotting down 3 small things each day, it actually helps rewire your brain, reinforcing that there is good even when things are tough. It reframes hardship. Okay, so we've looked outward with gratitude, now we turn inward. Self-compassion. This is about changing that inner voice, stopping the harsh critic.
Becoming your own best friend, as they say.
Pretty much. Treating yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend who's struggling. Patience, understanding, all of it.
Okay, but hang on. If we're too kind to ourselves, don't we risk just letting ourselves off the hook? Isn't some self-criticism needed for, accountability to get better?
That's a really common question and a fair one. The distinction here is key. Harsh self-criticism often leads to shame, feeling stuck, which actually stops you from growing.
Right, it could be paralyzing.
Exactly. Self-compassion, though, allows for constructive looking at mistakes. You can say, okay, I messed that up, without jumping to I am a mess. It acknowledges imperfection is just human. The aim is learning and correcting, but from a place of kindness, not blame.
That shift in inner dialogue sounds huge. Okay, so once we manage the mind with awareness and kindness, what's next? You mentioned the physical side.
Yes, the body. These teachings see the body as incredibly important, not just a vehicle, but a precious vessel, sometimes even a beautiful temple for our spirit.
A temple. I like that.
It emphasizes respect. You can't really have a calm, positive mind if the body it lives in is neglected. Caring for this temple is, essential for balance. Mind, body, soul working together.
And it's not about extremes, right? Not like becoming a hardcore athlete or only eating kale.
Not at all. It's holistic. It's about mindful nutrition, What are you putting into this temple? Are they helpful offerings? It's about movement that feels good, maybe just a walk.
Gentle movement.
Yeah. And crucially, something our culture is terrible at. Rest. Real rest. Sleep.
Ah, sleep. The forgotten essential.
Totally. Sleep is when the body and mind actually repair and rejuvenate. Honoring the temple means giving it downtime. Without enough good rest, all the mindfulness in the world is fighting an uphill battle against pure exhaustion. All right, so let's talk about dealing with life itself, which is, constantly changing. How do you stay positive when nothing stays the same?
That's the big one, isn't it?
It is, and this is where a core Buddhist idea comes in. Impermanence. Everything changes. Always. Your job, relationships, health, everything.
And we resist that like crazy. We want stability.
We do. But according to this wisdom, that resistance is a major source of suffering. Learning to accept, even embrace impermanence is fundamental to staying calm and positive.
So like the tree that bends in the wind instead of snapping.
Exactly like that. It's about flexibility. If you accept things change, then challenges feel less permanent, and successes.
Well, you enjoy them knowing they might shift too. It actually makes you more resilient.
Okay, so accepting change means we're less afraid of it, maybe even curious about what's next. Precisely. It helps you step out of your comfort zone more easily. Change becomes less like a threat and more like, well, part of the adventure of life.
All right, so we embrace change, become flexible.
Yeah.
But we still need goals, right? How do we aim for things without getting overwhelmed or rigid, given everything's changing?
This brings us to a really practical concept, the middle path. Originally, it was about avoiding extremes like harsh self-denial or just reckless indulgence.
Finding the balance.
Exactly. And when you apply it to goals, it means finding a balance in your effort. Avoid burnout from pushing too hard, but also avoid stagnation from not trying enough.
Sustainable effort, like running a marathon, not a sprint.
Perfect analogy. You need the right pace. Think of it like stairs. If the steps are too huge, you stumble and maybe give up. Too tiny and you barely move. The middle path is about finding the right-sized step.
Challenging but doable.
Yes. Breaking big things down into manageable chunks. Success then becomes about steady progress, those small wins adding up, rather than one giant stressful push.
Okay, this leads us to the final piece, which feels really important. Actively choosing joy. Nourishing the soul. You use the analogy of a banquet of life.
Yeah, like each day you get to choose what dishes you'll consume, things that genuinely bring joy to your soul. It's about consciously prioritizing your inner happiness.
How does that connect to the other ideas?
Well, it ties into the concept of right livelihood, making sure your activities as much as possible align with your values and passions. But it's also simpler than that. It means making time intentionally for things that just fill you up.
Like hobbies,
Yeah.
music, nature.
Exactly. Things you do not because they're productive in a career sense, but because they feel good, because they're intrinsically joyful. Painting, reading, playing, just being quiet outdoors.
Things we usually push to the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
The nice-to-haves.
Right. We treat them like luxuries we have to earn after the important work is done.
Yeah.
But that thinking is flawed, according to this wisdom.
Oh.
Because those joyful, nourishing activities aren't luxuries. They're essential. They replenish your energy, your spirit. They give you the resilience you need to handle the tough stuff we talked about. They're non-negotiable ingredients for a positive life.
So looking back at all these pieces, awareness, gratitude, self-kindness, body care, embracing change, balanced goals, and now choosing joy, it all seems to circle back to one thing.
Which is?
That happiness isn't out there somewhere waiting to be found. It's not a destination or a thing you achieve. It's something you build inside, an internal state.
That's the heart of it, intentional cultivation.
Yeah.
And that self-love, that inner nourishment becomes the foundation. It's what lets you navigate life's inevitable ups and downs with more stability, more grace, because your core is strong.
That was quite a deep dive. Lots of practical wisdom there for finding calm in, well, the usual chaos. So to recap those 7 pillars quickly, be present with mindfulness, practice gratitude, be kind to yourself, honor your body, embrace change, find that middle path for your goals, and consciously choose joy.
And maybe, just to leave you with a final thought, circling back to that very first idea, if your mind truly is the master of your experience, how often today will you consciously choose to treat that master with the respect and care it truly deserves?
Something to think about. That's all for today's topic. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated with the latest news.